Hello and welcome back to part 2, lessons learned in 2025 and intentions for 2026. If you are just joining, go back to part 1. This is going to be a long series, by the way, so you can hop in as and when you need to, and I hope you get lots from it. By the way, if there are any of these points that do not work for you, do not resonate, just ditch them and move on. Just focus on the things that you connect with and move forward with those. Number 4, I realized before Christmas, I celebrated my 40th anniversary of goal setting. And already you might be doing the maths going, hang on a minute, like what does this mean? I was 4 years old when I began setting goals. And I know that sounds incredibly precocious, and I promise you I wasn't. And I wasn't calling it goal setting, but I was so deliberate in this process. I remember watching a Christmas panto. It was the Blue Peter pantomime, 1985. And as I've gone back and thought about that year, we just moved house. My mum had a 6-month-old baby. My dad was probably at work, and oh my goodness, like we probably had a house full of 12 people for Christmas, and my mum would have been cooking three meals a day, you know, all those moments. Anyway, I was in the living room watching the telly, and I watched this Blue Peter pantomime. And there was something about those people singing, performing, playing, being creative. I can connect with that part of me right now. It was something so sensory within myself. And it was such an explosive feeling, an absolute yes feeling, that immediately I was in this position of like, do I go and talk to my mum and ask her about it? Or like, I need to actually finish watching this thing. So I remember as soon as the credits went up, and this is probably like one of my first memories. As soon as the credits went up, I ran into the kitchen to see my mum, and I just was like, I've seen this thing, and how do you get to do this? And then we had a conversation, and I said, you know, I want, how? And I didn't understand. And are they real people? And are they actors? And, you know, I had all these chats. And my mum said, well, you go to drama school. And I said, when can you go? And she said, well, you know, some people go at 16. And I was like, well, I think I'll do that. And she said, no, you'll probably go at 18. So there are so many details around that. And I'm going to go into another video all around like celebrating my 40th goal setting and how that actually like came to fruition throughout those years that then led to the goal actually happening. Because I think it's important to see those things in real time sometimes. But what I want you to take away from this is, what is your body saying to you? Your body is giving you clues all the time. Your body is saying, I want more of this, I want less of this. I like this, I don't like this. I'm excited about this, I cannot think of anything worse. I am free and open and flowy in this part of my body, and I am stuck and rigid in other parts of my body. I want you to build that relationship so you get to know your gut in this season. And so you listen to it. And this is not to say to ignore the practical things. And like sometimes you might feel like everything in my gut is saying go for it. And in reality, it's not the most sensible decision. I'm not saying you should always listen to your gut and ignore everything else. It has to be a conversation, a relationship. But what happens, I think, is so often people just focus on the practical. Now's not the right time. I need all my ducks in a row first. Who am I to be like thinking about this thing? Like maybe it was an accident that I had this absolute yes feeling. Why has that feeling come to me? I want you to pay attention to it, because your body will teach you everything about yourself, how you're feeling, what feels good. It's we actually had this moment a little while ago where there's like I'm not going to go too much into the details, but there's this like really creepy, annoying man in the supermarket. And he's been around, I've lived in this area for years and years, and he's always been around. He's always muttering things at people, and he's just like really unpleasant. He's very elderly now, and you might say like, oh, he doesn't really mean it, but it's because I know the history of it. And I've never, when I've seen him out and about, and he's always in the supermarket bothering people, I've never said anything to my kids. I've always just had that like ushering of them, moving them aside. And my son said to me the other week, "You don't like that man, do you, Mummy?" And I was like, nope, no, I don't. And I didn't have to say the words. He could tell by my body language, probably the feeling that he had in his body as well. Really get to know everything about yourself. It's to giving you clues all the time. Number 5, we have to understand, recognize, and acknowledge the season that we are in. And there were times over last year when I was trying to do things at the wrong time, or I was trying to put things in place without the infrastructure, that's really difficult to say, that the thing actually needed. I was trying to do like a homemade solopreneur version of this, and actually the project needed something else. I love to talk, and I love to watch actually our stairs which go off our living room, and we live in an Edwardian house, and we've got this spiral staircase off our living room that goes down into the garden. And this staircase has been one of the greatest teachers ever, because this staircase knows itself so well, and it's not trying to be anything it isn't. So right now I'm recording this in January 2015. Why can't I say 2026? January 2026, not January 2015. I don't know where that came from. January 2026. At the moment, it's bare. It's just twigs. Like, you wouldn't almost believe that it could grow into anything, because there's nothing to show for it. There's no old leaves about the place. You know, it can't even rest on its laurels of like last summer it was doing this. It's doing nothing. In a few months, so we moved into this house at the beginning of March, and this time of year, early March time, is when the buds start to come through. First, we get the snowdrops downstairs in around February, and then the tree follows. And because this is our 5th summer here, I've got to know and understand the cycle of this. So come March, the buds start to come. In summer, oh my goodness, there is no stopping this situation. It is loud, it is proud, it needs cutting every day. Sometimes it gets to the point where you can't even see the stairs underneath. It is wild. And then in autumn, it goes this beautiful palette of colors of golds and rusts and browns and greens and golds. It's just so beautiful. The reason that analogy works for me so well is because it is so working seasonally. And I have learned, and it is a work in progress, that my August is very different to my September. My kids are off all of August. And so for me to launch a project or to do too much hands-on client work, I'm just always chasing my tail. So this year, I really learned to take August at a slower pace, to do maintenance work essentially. And then come September, I was actually rested and I was good to go. Likewise, over Christmas, my partner actually had 2 weeks off, and as a family, we just had so much time. I didn't take my computer away with me. We were away for Christmas, and it felt so good. I want you to check in with the season that you are in. My January 2026 is very different to my January 2016. 10 years ago. Like, I had a 12-week-old baby. We were like still really figuring it out. And now my kids are 10 and 6. So it's very different. I want you to check in and make sure that the moves you are making are celebrating and working with, they're in a conversation with the season that you're in right now. Number 6, I want you to set outside goals and inside goals. Sometimes when we think about goal setting, we think about the impressive, shiny stuff. I'm going to get this, I'm going to be this, I'm going to get all the likes, I'm going to announce this, I'm going to say how excited and thrilled I am to be doing this, whatever. All the kind of outside stuff. However, I want you also to pay attention to the things that wouldn't necessarily even be impressive to other people. So one of the things that I did last year was I paid serious attention to my sleep, to my hormones. I bought supplements. I upped my protein. I got an exercise routine. I cleared my bedside table. So I wasn't just always waking up in the morning with this I'm just a bit frazzled. I took those inside goals, those nourishing maintenance goals within me. So even things like making sure the kitchen was spotless every night. Nobody needs to hear about that on the internet, but for me, it made all the difference to how I set up the morning and therefore how my family left and went to work and school. My partner does stuff as well. But those small changes really made a difference. Come back for part 3. Also, if you want to make some big goals, big changes, big dreams come true in 2026, send me a message. I am welcoming in people to work with me one-on-one, or you can check out my shop. All the details are down below. I'll see you in part 3.